So, today is let's get my calendar up so I can say this accurately. Today is Thursday, the 3rd of November. And tomorrow is the highly anticipated for me release of the new Call of Duty, because you get the remastered Call of Duty 4. Something I feel a lot about, and I've wanted to make videos about ever since I decided to start making YouTube videos, which I still haven't made anything other than Let's Play videos, so I kind of still haven't started really making YouTube videos. But one of the things that really interests me a lot is the change, the evolution of single-player first-person shooter campaigns. And Call of Duty 4's campaign, I hold up as sort of like a high watermark of that. A lot of people do. And I feel like a lot of the problems, not all of, but a lot of the problems, I feel like there's sort of a half and half of the problems in modern AAA first-person shooters. And half of them come from just general AAA, very casual, very sort of design philosophies that come with AAA games. And the other half, I think, come from a lot of games trying to, especially Call of Duty campaigns, trying to emulate the successes of the original Call of Duty campaign. So, tomorrow is going to be my first release day stream for a while. The first that since my new schedule. And I'm considering playing Call of Duty on stream pretty much all weekend, and trying to keep up playing it semi-regularly, because I love it. I'm probably going to play it a ton off stream as well. So my idea was definitely going to play through the campaign of Call of Duty 4 on stream, because it just seems like a perfect idea. I don't know if I'd get around to playing the whole thing on my own. I probably would, because I've played that campaign so many times anyway. I'll probably play it a lot of times. Might even used to speedrun Call of Duty back in the day, and might even start trying to do that sort of stuff and playing it multiple times on hard difficulties and stuff. But I thought that, because this was something I was planning to do anyway, I was thinking of doing anyway, I wasn't quite planning yet. My idea is, as a sort of hype day, to get in preparation for the release of COD, I'm going to play a first-person shooter. And it made sense to play the one that's come out most recently, and one that also has some slightly interesting things to talk about in their single player. Because it's a single player which generally, from what I've seen and what I've heard from other people, mostly falls into the main traps of being a shitty standard AAA first-person shooter campaign. But especially in the first mission, has some very clever, very nice ideas which make it sort of interesting. And so obviously I'm only going to play maybe the first mission, maybe the first couple missions. But that is already something where I'm like, okay, this is a good idea. And hopefully I can play through the first mission, talk about why I think it's kind of cool, there's good ideas in it. And then maybe get to a point where I start hitting on the really bad shooter stuff. I don't know how bad it'll be. There'll definitely. I've watched my friend Sona stream this, so there's definitely some bits in there that I can already think of that I can point out. And then I can try and sort of compare that tomorrow with how Call of Duty 4 does it, and show how sort of, the better side, the way I think it should be done, sort of thing, the way it was done well, and talk about that difference. I want to mention, I probably will do this in the future, maybe on a more structured YouTube basis than just this, maybe on my other channel, which is more for sort of structured videos and stuff. I want to talk about this sort of stuff, and I will be doing it much more specifically, bringing in Call of Duty 1, the expansion to Call of Duty 1, United Defensive, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4, and also some other good games that have done it well. I want to look at older stuff as well. I want to look at the new Wolfenstein. I want to look at old Unreal Tournament and Quake and see where they did things interestingly, how that evolved. And I'm going to look at bad games. And the one that I think you should play if you can find it real cheap or free, and you want to see what I mean by a lot of these problems, and one I definitely will use as an example in a lot of these things, is going to be the Medal of Honor remake. Because the original Medal of Honors, the ones that were made by the Call of Duty devs before they made Call of Duty, excellent. Even some of the ones after they left, excellent. But the modern Medal of Honor game, not Warfighter, the original remake, although Warfighter is probably just as bad, I haven't played it, really was the thing that got me started on realising what a lot of these flaws were and just noticing them more and more. Because you see a lot of these flaws even in things like the new Tomb Raiders and, you know, in other games like that and things like Uncharted and stuff. So I'm just going to go on normal, and I'm going to do the first thing. I have opened it up before, so you might not get all of the intro stuff, but you should get enough. This is quite quiet for me as well. Hopefully I won't need to turn anything up. I love it. The music does make me feel like I'm in Fallout 3, which makes me very happy. It's a very Fallout use of this music, and it's at least showing, I mean, the cinematic's good, it's showing the sort of chaos of war quite well. Stopping the music there is pretty effective. That's only just true, but it is true. And it's some things. See, that is interesting, the "you are not expected to survive" line, because that points to one of the good parts of this game, but it also, I think it's just good, but it sort of makes me feel like, you know, it's made so that people don't get upset with it. I feel like people would realise. So firstly, this gun, absolutely ridiculous. Secondly, this map, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. I mean, it's just so good. This sort of world design, because even though you can sort of run off around, you're clearly meant to go to this house, right? That's where everyone is. This is where all of the cover is, right? And then, I didn't even kill that guy. I just shot him and then left him live. Right? But that whole thing of having that big thing and this being an automag, ridiculous, and I love it. I remember I watched Angry Joe's video on this game, and he was sort of upset with how unrealistic a lot of this stuff was, but generally I think it's a really cool idea, really nice idea that I'm really down for, to do this sort of, you know, alternate timeline history, sort of pseudo-historic stuff. You know, it's like pseudo-realism, how that took over games for a long time. I like this idea of sort of pseudo-history where it's more inspired by World War II. And yeah, we've got limited ammo, so we've run out already. The only way to get ammo is probably to move out, which is going to be hugely dangerous. I think it's just G throwing it in. I need to change the hotkeys for that. Oh shit! Oh god. I hope that you guys are liking my bright pink crosshair as well, because that's That's very important for the success of me in shooters, I believe. Oh shit, open console, I meant to hit that. I want to find where grenade is. On foot. Throw grenade. Middle mouse button. Okay, cool. And I need to get out of there because there's a grenade there. Talking of grenades. Oh my god, he didn't die for that. It's slow motioning me, and then I burn to death. The slow motion is pretty nice, I like it. And then, you can't actually see it, because it's so white there, but it showed the name of who I was playing, and his birthday and death date. And then it sets me further back. It sets me further back in the battlefield and shows they pushed out. This is an incredibly smart way, and I think one of the only really effective ways to have a fun level in a single player story campaign where you lose, which is something that people have been trying to do for a long time. To, you know, sometimes it's needed in stories, and without just sort of letting you win and then putting too much for you to fight in, and then just going, oh, but cutscene, you died, right? They actually put you in a situation where you are, oh god, he can burn me from there. Holy hell. Right, the slow motion is pretty epic. As my health regenerates high enough, it stops. It's very smart to have this way to make losing sort of interesting, to let you die and then push you back to playing someone else further back the line, rather than just going, you know, cutscene and you died. You know, which isn't sort of fun or interesting at all. Oh, you're pushing this side? That's an ally. Shit. I would be awful in war. This is why I'm an artist, not a soldier. Oh, no. It's not a flamethrower guy. Go away. So, yeah, I was talking about how it's an interesting way of sort of managing to make you lose. There was something else as well that happened that I wanted to talk about, not liking, but I've actually forgotten now. Okay. Turns out shotguns are not the best way to deal with flamethrower troops. Oh no! Did I get caught from behind and stabbed? No? Okay. Yeah, you can see the Morris Jefferson. It's a good idea. It sort of very artfully sort of shows the depth of it and moves on. And it sort of is using a technique from Call of Duty 4, but it's using it in a new way. And interestingly, the fact that Call of Duty 4 would kill off some of your soldiers, you know? Okay, I'm not driving, I'm on a cannon. Okay. These sort of zooms are weird. Oh yes, another thing. I just realised, when I was on that machine gun, you may have noticed that my sensitivity was really high. My sensitivity is actually fine here. But they have sensitivities for vehicles and for... Oh, I was meant to save my fiber there. Do I have a machine gun? Oh, okay. Cool. I have... there's sensitivity settings for on foot and when you're in a vehicle. And the sensitivity settings for when you're in a vehicle... I just realised I'm not even looking at chat. The sensitivity settings for when you're not looking at a vehicle are for... Or for while you are in a vehicle are all vehicles. So I changed my sensitivity when I was in a plane to make the plane flying feel better and nicer, and to stop me. I was at the point where I was going like this to move my plane, and it's really uncomfortable and I don't like it. So, I managed to get that better, but turrets count as vehicles. Like, at first I thought the only downside was when I'm in a car, and I'm driving, the looking around thing is way too high sensitivity. But what it actually ended up meaning is that, there's a bad guy in the middle of good guys? Weird. And I thought that was a fine thing to deal with, you know, my camera look is a bit too fast, but that doesn't actually matter too much. However, what ended up being the big problem is that turrets count as vehicles. And so when I'm trying to aim a turret, my sensitivity is way too damn high. And that is a problem which there might be a way to fix it that I just don't know. It might sort of fix it in a way, you know, they might add later some settings so you can more separately control things, like change the turret one separately to vehicle, but I don't know. It's only a small problem. That was sort of a bit closer to the normal way it does it. You know, where you get, you know, just the cutscene, oh, you're dead. But I can see why they did it, because they wanted to show you the tank exploding and how cool that looked, and I'm sort of okay with that. I feel like it would have been better if they just, like, let you get killed, and at least feel like it was a, at least feel like it was sort of part of the game, before they went up and showed the way it exploded for the cool looks or whatever. I also like how they start off this level by making, oh, you actually are just given a gas mask and can't take it off. Okay, I at least like that they sort of show the limitations of the gas mask, and they show the, you know, you should use gas mask when you see gas like this, and that airship going down in the background is spectacular, and this is sort of showing that. And I was amazed when I first saw that happen in a real game, and it was sort of like, oh yeah, you really, you know that it's happening. Okay, so then you push up far enough that there's no more gas, and instead of letting you take off your gas mask, it just, oh, it wants me to bayonet charge people. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take them all out. Oh, no! Oh! See, that again, it came close to cutscene, but because they've let me, on other places, not get cutscened, it makes it feel less like a cutscene event. You know, it makes it feel less like an event that was planned to happen, because on other lives, they've had it as an event where it can happen. So it's sort of, it has the right sort of mix of it. And this is quite a nice, emotional little cutscene.
Every once in a while, we push hard enough that the light breaks through the cloud. To the world beyond the war glimmers, just out of reach. The war is the world, and the world is the war.
Ah, that's very traditional World War I scene. That is Fallout 3. I don't know why they've got a Fallout 3 clip in there randomly. That train is a bit odd. There's a guy in the tank. I think these are all clips of cutscenes and characters that you're going to have later in the game as well.
And the lost to history. We are the knights of the sky, the ghosts in the desert, and the rats in the mud. These are our stories.
I do like the way it goes about this, as in having, like, no, it's not telling the story of one super soldier who has to save the world. It's telling the stories of ordinary soldiers. Unfortunately, that isn't carried on as well throughout the later game, from what I've heard. And it ends up, rather than telling the story of normal soldiers over telling the story of a super soldier, it ends up telling the story of multiple super soldiers.
The entire world was caught in an inevitable cataclysm. The war covered the globe.
See, this is interesting as well.
Old ways
because they're numbered, so they clearly sort of have a way where they're like, this is the way we suggest you do it. But they come up in different ways to the numbers. It was like 2, 5, 1, 3, 4. So, and it selects one first, but then it's surely sort of saying that you can do all of these. So, I don't know what many of these are, but what I'm assuming, I like that they sort of start off very typically with tanks. It's like a Land Cruiser, it's very World War One, and Through the Mud and Blood sounds like it's going to be very traditional Western Front, trench warfare sort of stuff, very sort of traditional, the way we think of World War One. Then Friends in High Places is obviously you're a pilot rather than tank driver, so they're trying to give you a different flavour. It looks like it's sort of south of France, so you know it's sort of slightly different terrain, slightly more beautiful, maybe more picturesque at least, and you get a different way to go. That volunteer for the Italian shock trooper unit battling amongst the Italian Alps. So in the Alps, I don't know what that'll be, but that sounds cool. I like the idea of the Alps. Then the runner stormed the beaches of Gallipoli under the guns of the largest naval fleet. Hirohito assembled. So that's around Istanbul. That's the I'm trying to remember what the fucking name of it is, but I can't. But whatever. And then in the Middle East. So this is one I'm actually excited for, even though it's put right at the end, because I love the desert maps for some reason. That sort of Lawrence of Arabia sort of, that's sort of, even though it's World War II, that sort of Indiana Jones vibe. I love it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the beginning, and what I might do is, skip through and do like the start of 1, the start of 2, the start of 3, the start of 4, the start of 5 sort of thing, just to get a bit of a feel of everything. Because I don't have, I'm probably not going to complete all of this.
My granddad fought in the Civil War. Before I left, he told me what it takes to stay alive, but nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. New machines of war, like the tank.
Some little achievements down there.
The battlefield overnight. Luckily, they were mostly on our side. Mostly.
Okay. I like this and the fact that there's the little things so you can be like, oh, I did it on hard, sort of thing. Normal, let's go. I click on that, I click on that. Let's go. Let's go. Ribcourt. I don't know if this is the place where there was something specific in World War One, but to me it feels like a sort of reference to Brecourt. Okay, nice little bit of history to start off. That's nice. Gives you sort of setting the scene. It's very well done. Okay, so is this going to be a sort of thing where they show people... It's kind of weird how they sort of suggest that you are these people, but then sometimes you are and sometimes you aren't. You know what I mean? Like in that last mission, it suggested that we were the guy who was lying in bed, but he clearly is meant to have survived and was at the end, so he can't have been him until the end. It must have been other people who died first. Oh, pigeons!
Listen, son, you find forward and reverse when you're told you'll do all right for me. Grab those, would you? Come and meet Big Bess. Woman of your dreams.
I'm very happy that they make you the driver. Just giving you a bit more control over it. That might turn out to be foreshadowing though.
Whoa, 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 no, don't swear. She does not like it when you swear. Finch, you've done this before.
Done what before?
Mind your business with manners. So don't worry, she'll look after you, okay?
All right, boys. This is the big one. Our orders are to punch through the German line, destroying artillery positions as we go. After that, we'll advance on the French town of Cambrai, where I have been assured there is wine, women, and song. So you should enjoy that.
I'm the man is wife. Jesus. Are we in safe hands or what, boys?
All right, my boys. Remember, boys, do your jobs, take care of each other. My best will take care of you.
May Lord have mercy on our souls.
Get through this together, right, Edwards?
Right, sir.
Full ahead, driver!
And as Sona rightly said, this is terrifying. Although it'll be even more terrifying if that was an enemy vehicle. And now I get to go. Let's roll! Or do I? Okay, I can look. It's actually driving itself right now. And I have some guns. I just typed 21 in the console accidentally. That's foreshadowing. That's definitely foreshadowing. Powerful cannons, hard targets, fast firing machine gun, anti-personnel, switch between the two for maximum effectiveness. Can I? Ooh. Yeah, see what I mean? This is way too sensitive. But here it's actually kind of fine.
Then we follow.
Heavens above, you ever seen anything like this?
I have. I'm sorry to say it.
Listen, we're going to cut down the guns up by that windmill.
By the windmill. Okay.
Give our boys some room.
This is not how I would do it. Surely you want the tank first. Another tank rolling down, that's gorgeous.
Don't let those decks be for nothing. Move. I got one of ours. Eyes front. Drive.
Oh, turn, please. Thank you. I will slow the tank, making you an easy target for enemy artillery.
Finch, what's the matter? Engine's fine, sir. It's the mud.
An allied tank, it's moving away from me, so I'm going to assume it's allied.
Field gun. Move and get a clear shot of those field guns.
I appreciate not being a target, no boy.
The more wire we can clear, the faster our men can move up. Those field guns are shredding their outfit. Keep your eyes peeled for more of those guns, lads. Hold position here. Clean out all the German guns. Never get sick of that sound. Hold position here. Let's get French on the run.
Boys are moving up.
Continue suppressing fire. Keep them on their heels.
Briggs is on the retreat.
That's it. Hold them. Keep them suppressed.
We are acting then.
Good job, lads. Now we take the next trench line.
Just fire some pot shots up to them.
Field gun. Go. Go.
So this is pretty cool generally.
Machine gun. Let's tear
honestly, when I watched on it, this looked deathly boring, but I'm surprised with how much I am actually enjoying just being a tank and rolling through. It sort of gives you a good bit of that power fantasy without just being like, you know, you are some sort of sick super soldier, you know. It's like, I mean, no, you're in a tank. This is like legitly how devastating tanks were and how like dangerous they would be and how scary they'd be. I think it's a good sort of show. I like how these shots aren't managing to hit me. Okay, that is an enemy shot, so hit them. And this is the other one that I need to hit. Is this clearing a path, or is this actually just clearing all of their cover? What field gun? This one?
Boys.
Try to give the birds some rum. It's only right to do.
Don't mess with the pigeons, Pritchard. It's our only link back to headquarters.
Edwards, how about you? You need a drink to steady your hands?
No, I don't drink. Save the fun and games for when we arrive at Cambrai, boys.
Yeah, they're really pushing the importance of this pigeon. There's another one. No.
Keep pushing, boys.
These field guns just appear, or did I just literally not notice them before?
No place to go, Diddy! That landship will rip our boys apart. Edwards, get us in. Demo, scope for the salt spots.
That one left the mark.
Double up the dead. What the hell are you doing? We need to get back into the fight.
Enemies are raining fire!
Heads down. Roll dead. Can't move a hitch. I need you out there to take a look. Watch your mouth, Spencer. Let's get on and lend him a hand.
You good? You sure?
Keep it together, lads. Just get
Right, there aren't any more guns around here, so I'll just sit and repair for a bit. And then move forward. These, I'm assuming these are tank traps and I can't actually go through there. But there's a very inconspicuous pile of rubble there. And there's a very thin wall there.
Field gun! Watch out!
Do we need to kill these? Oh yeah, it worked, cool.
Great job, lads. Let's find the rest.
Is it showing me where they are at all? That's an enemy. Oh, I can see them. Some from here.
That's two. Keep at them, boys.
Coming around behind them should mean that all their field guns facing the wrong way. If there are any left.
That was the last one. Village is ours.
Big Willie's farm. Let's roll, boys. Let's try and avoid the graves. Be slightly respectful, you know. So, do you know, I'm surprised so far with how much I've enjoyed this mission. It's been sort of a decent power fantasy, a decent sort of illustration of the use of tanks in a way. You know, I mean, it's not the best, but you know, it's decent. I'm down with this. Giving you as the driver control of guns does make it a bit ridiculous. I like the idea that you could somehow have an idea where your allies are aiming, and have them controlling the guns. At the end, or do we need to move up?
Artillery ahead. Now we cut them all down.
Okay, this looks really muddy, so I'm not going to go via the road. I'm going to try and move up this way. Kill the field guns first, because they're actually a danger to me. Nice, the field gun hit something else. Can't see it. There we go. Oh shit, I missed it. I'm awful at this game, apparently. There we go. Rolling over these guys' positions. Hopefully this ends kinda soon, because otherwise this is getting a little bit samey. I believe as well, from what I've seen, these campaigns aren't all like... Okay, we're behind some rocks from that tank, so we can sort of stay out of the way of it. And then we can move up and hit their side. Nice. And I'm assuming we can't go through this river, so it's forcing me over the bridge. And this feels like a place where something will end.
Clear the bridge of any German defenses. Edwards, take us over. Field gun close. How many of those are we going to take? More, damn fuck. That's a lot.
Okay, this is once again looking like...
Don't get any traction. Push him back, lads. Push him back here. No traction, sir. I can't move her. Come on. Come on, man. Richard. Richard. Hey, you two minds, you're gonna get us all killed. Edward's behind you.
Get the pigeon, get the pigeon. It's catch the pigeon, isn't it? McMinnis is a bit of a cuck. I hope he doesn't carry on.
The pigeon! That is an order, son. Do you understand me? Sir!
Is this the fabled bit where I get to play as a pigeon? Oh, look at this. Oh, I'm so glorious. Dude, I love being a pigeon. I can't remember what game it was, but there was a shooter where you could... I can't remember what it was. Was it one of the old Arma games? Was it? Where when you died in a multiplayer game, you would... instead of just spectating other people, you would play as a pigeon. And you'd get to fly around the battlefield and watch stuff from your own perspective as a pigeon. And it was pretty fun. I remember that being a sort of clever, little, neat, little idea. He controls very strangely, you know. It's sort of all slow and late reactions. And yeah, he just sort of moves about the screen a bit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's clearly, that little Superman 64 hoop is clearly the way I'm meant to go. That is gorgeous. Like the rifling and it just looks so good. There's one thing you can't say about this game, it's good.
Nice serving with your lads.
Oh, Big Bess protected us like a don, dudes. Big Bess is a champion.
You have the look of the devil, Townsend.
Is that right?
All we got out here is blind orders and chance. What you'll do for us first, you reckon?
I'm sick of your lip, McManus.
Aye, aye, sir.
Edward started up. Mine's backing up.
Big Bess. Give us a break. Give us a break. Come on. Ah, come on, Bess. Come on, stop. Stop, Big Bess. Stop. Stop. It stopped. Are you just gonna stand there? Ah, hell. There's fog up ahead. I can't see more than 20 yards.
We're pushing through. Edwards, I'll drive. You jump out and scout ahead.
Don't be a hero, lad. Just do your job.
Okay, is this the second part of that mission? I don't know how you find out. But I will try and find out during the break. I might play through this mission and then try and find maybe back up and do another one. Depends how it goes. Let's see. As always, I will be back in, 5 minutes time, something. It won't be long.